Welcome back. I kind of rebooted the stream just so it was labeled as graduates. We put the graduate show up on our YouTube channel, our second one, Chess Dojo Live. And so I just wanted it to be clear for our web guy, Chess for Coffee, that we switched it up. So we continue. Actually, what I need to do with this final game here, how do I think I hit public. Yes, save changes. Okay, now we're gonna go newsfeed. Graduates, how many we got today, my friends? We're dealing with, holy moly, 23. So that's why I had to start the show a little earlier, my friends. It's gonna be a long day. And something I really want to do is just to take it slow. I don't want to feel like I got to rush through it, 23 is a lot, but I do especially want to spend some time looking at what people are doing, read their comments, go through the games. Okay. So we got Midgie Man. I first read Milkman. That's pretty good. 50-year-old who wants to really understand the game. Nice, dude. Okay. Got up there. Okay, let's look. Let's follow. Activity. Just got a couple things going on. No games. All right, so welcome to the dojo. Welcome to the dojo. Yeah, done a little bit of tactics. Fine. Great. I want to see this dude move up. All right, next up we have Matt, who has definitely graduated before. I remember that. Let's read what Matt says. The combination of the training plan and the access to the dojo player community has not only helped me improve my actual play, but has also just made chess more enjoyable as a hobby, knowing there's always something productive to do and friendly people available to do it with. I have a bunch of tournaments lined up over the next couple months, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the dojo work pays off. Yeah. Okay, great. Let's get into Matt over here. Matt's just flying up there, man. Flying up this. Well, I'm trying, Quad. I'm trying, buddy. Yeah, Matt's doing great. Let's see, we got other USCF. Nice. Now, we've seen this too, like Jack, the guy who's designed the site. He's also like got a USCF that's much lower. We could argue about why that's going on. But it is just a different thing playing OTB. Totally different activity. Okay, let's look at how he did it. So we're going to go back one. That's a good distribution for sure. Let's click on games and analysis. Nice. So we'll probably see some annotated games. We got the blender games looking good. Let's click on tactics. Beautiful. And we'll then go games. Oh, we got loads. Loads. All right, Matt, you're doing good work, dude. So this looks maybe like a IRL game. Yeah. First OTV game of the year at my club. Okay, good. Yeah, this is what we want. Okay. Okay. Boop. Boop. And now knight f6. Interesting. Yeah. All right, good. C4, very controversial. You're playing a slightly higher rated player. And maybe what you should say to yourself, I mean, you could play knight f6 too, but the point is they can recapture with the queen because your pawn is blocking your knight on c3, right? In either case, you play d4, they're probably going to take someday on d4, you get the isolated queen pawn, you get a dynamic game. If that's the kind of game you enjoy, then c3 is fine for you. Fine. But on the other hand, stop thinking about the openings, bows. All right, because that's unprincipled. Good move by black. Good move. And now we can say that black has compensation for the pawn. Good move. And yeah, very good move. D4, I'll give that an exclamation. So black screwed it up and needs to keep a watchful eye on the D4 square. That's the whole compensation that black has going on. So exclam, very big deal. Yeah, they blew it. Good move. Now, why would it be equal? You're up a bows. All right, now we need a good move from you. Bishop e2 seems reasonable. I like bishop f4, bishop e2, and I have a bad feeling about what happens next. Bad feeling. Here you got to play bishop f4, I think. Oh, yeah, and now you're toast. It can happen so fast. Yep. And you write bishop e3, fine. Bishop f4, I just want to trade off some peoples. Bishop e3 maybe even is a better move. I don't know. Oh, I got some good coffee today, my friends. Well, there it has it. And as we said in the past, this tactical stuff is where the game is decided at this level. And when I mean this tactical stuff, I mean to say like the hanging. The great hanging. Okay. Yeah, one mistake and that's it. One thing maybe just to appreciate is that in this position, I would say black has full compensation. And maybe bishop e7 could be a reasonable move. And you got to do, at some point, you got to do this gross thing, right? But by them allowing you to play d4, well, I don't know. Then you're looking good. Okay, Matt. Great, dude. Great. We're going to see Matt again for more graduations. I got my login expired. I'm going to refresh. Thank you very much. Next up, we have Johan. Haven't had the time to do a sparring session with other dojo members as I'm still figuring out what my training times can be. Looking forward to more progress. Okay, cool. Good jump. And this is 700, 800. We're going to go back one. My guess is he probably didn't log his stuff because he's got 10 in 4 hours. Okay. Tactics, what they doing. Yeah, good. We'll probably get an annotated game here. All right, so let's look. All right, you got a game. That's great. Oh, I want to make sure I follow dude here. Oh, no, I'm already following him. Okay. First online game with a real board next to me. This would be interesting for me to hear more about it. If you guys are interested, there's this whole series that DM Hokie, who's one of our guys behind the scenes, he finally showed his face in a video. And he did a couple reviews of boards that you can put next to your computer and you move the piece and it automatically goes to the screen. So you could kind of like sit there with your screen and play it as if it's a real, as if it were an OTB game. Which I think for a lot of people, especially those who say, they don't have time to play OTB or something, that's the next best thing. Because my experience is with the computer, also doing classes with other people. Is whenever you're online, there's just the temptation to be looking at this random, like if your concentration lapses just for a second, it's just like, go check on this or that, disaster. All right, here we go. Just developing moves, you're doing great. Knight g5, mistake. Knight g5 only makes sense if you can't develop and defend at the same time. But here you can. Castles, thank you very much. This is a clear waste of time with knight g5. Good move. Weird, little weird. Though it is a question about what you should do now, right? You are up in time. So, there's a variety of things you could do. Okay. A6, I don't like it. I don't have great, pieces of advice, though. I would take that thing. Whoa. Bows. Why can't you just take it? You just take it, son. Take that bishop. Come on. Oh, this guy's just hanging out. All of his coconuts. Oh, yeah, just things are hanging out to dry. Yeah. Bam. Nice move. Oh, that wasn't it. Welcome to the dojo here, my friend. Dang. Dang. There we go. So that was really cool. One thing, we're putting out this book called How to Analyze Your Games. And one thing I say in there, and I think David might put a little blurb in there for it too, is when you start, you might just do a couple questions. And like this guy did here, right? You might just be like, well, right now, dude, I can't imagine doing some deep analysis. These are the basic questions I had in the game, right? Now, at this level, what we really want to focus on is people hanging stuff. So when they play this is definitely hanging stuff, okay? Now, you could say to yourself, well, boss, that was 2 pieces and a pawn, so isn't that the same? Let's just look at how powerful everything is here, Everything's coming. Anyways, great annotation. And we're going to see Johan again soon on this graduation show. Now we got MJ. MJ's crushing it, dude. So MJ, yeah, it looks like they might be ready to go again. And we'll go back activity. And we'll go down one to see how they did it. It's all tactics, my friends. Okay. Yeah. And let's see, are they already kind of doing stuff in the next one? Already killing with the more tactics. Yeah. Okay. Games. One cool thing, I'm going to do a review of everyone's first chess workbook in a little bit, but I gave it as a present for Christmas to a bunch of kids who are just starting out, and for the most part, we got one in particular, is just crushing it, man. So it's really cool. For me, yeah, that's, if I'm going to review the book, I want to see that kind of book through the eyes actually of a beginner. And one of the things I can just see is people in the lower cohorts really going through that thing. Okay. Abdul saying maybe I didn't use all my time properly. There's a part of the next game where I took 20 minutes on a move, and I know KGB is just gonna let me have it, dude. He is gonna be like, "Bows, I told you never." If I spend more than 10 minutes, dude, he throws a fit. So we'll see what he says there, man. All right. Per Jesse. Okay, MJ, per Jesse. There we go. Yeah. Knight c6. Now, this one is mildly controversial because you're open yourself up for maybe knight c6 and e5. Maybe it's not so bad, but it might be a little annoying, So, for example, in this position, e5 might be what we sometimes call in chess a hassle in the castle. And is white better? I don't know, honestly. I don't know. But I don't want to see it because I'm blocked my bishop off or something. That's probably fine for you, though. Okay. Mistake, let's put a question mark next to it. Check to the miserable queen. Bam, thank you very much. Ooh, now, let me just say, let's talk about why this is bad positionally. Obviously, he blundered his rook. But this is bad positionally because our bishop needed to be unmasked, and now it's just has no opposing force in the dark squares. Thank you. Rook a b8. Fine. I like a5 better because you're really going to open him up. Now he's just flailing. There we go, son. Now a5. No. man. Arg, stay calm. Yep. And as we've said, at this level, it's that kind of thing that's killing our gains, right? And so that's a major sadness. What's I see. Okay, he's got real fancy. Queen A5 looks good. Their bishop's awesome. Luckily, rook C8 doesn't win your queen. Oh, good move. That wasn't it. That wasn't it. So, my friends, look. Where is it decided? It's people hanging stuff. Okay. There's so many people KGB has to work with. Now, we got to say actually about KGB, in his own playing time, he's kind of mostly retired now. But that guy had his own time pressure problems. And that's one of the reasons he's a good coach for time pressure, because it's just like, you know, he knows all about the problem of thinking too long. Okay, now we got Jackson. Dude, Howell, I was doing commentary. It was 2019. It was a tournament. I got to hang out with him later. It was really cool. Anyways, he thought for, dude, 20, I don't know, man. It was a long time on like move one. And I was like, bows. After the game, you know, I interviewed him. I was like, what were you thinking? Bows. And he's like, I don't even remember. I don't even remember what I was thinking, man. Okay, this one's a little confusing because it looks like, well, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Let's go click around a little bit. Now, sometimes people are not in the right cohort, my friends. And I think Jackson needs to be in the right cohort. Let's see if we got a game from Jackson. We don't. So it's a little hard for me to judge what's going on with Jackson here. Yeah. All right, let's get out of here. Jackson, put yourself in the right cohort, Babus. You're way up there, man. You're way up there. All right. Next up, we have, let's call him Napoleon. Daily chess. With this, you're allowed to use books and databases to help you in the game without engine assistance, of course. Okay. So he's doing daily chess. All right. 895. Right. So maybe actually he might have hit 900 and then dipped dipped right after. Still, that's a nice rating graph. We'll go activity, and we'll see how he got there. That's some good work right there. Good. What is he doing, non-dojo? What is he doing? Some chess media, watching that Gotham Chess YouTube videos, I guess. Chessable and Chess Engine. Okay. He's looking at that. Man, that's cool to break it down like that. Done a lot of non-dojo time. Let's see if we got a game. Beloved bookkeeper's here. Beloved bookkeeper, I got an important question for you. I was thinking of, by the way, you guys, I might find it somewhere, but there was a great interview with Beloved Bookkeeper, and I'm going to grab it and post it in the chat. And one thing, now, you know, I just want to say, Sam, that it felt like you got discouraged after this last event. Here, I'm just going to put this in the chat here. That you got discouraged, and dude, there's not that many tournaments that are cool like the one this weekend's going to be cool. And so I think, Baus, you need to come out. You need to come out to this tournament this weekend. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I actually, oh gosh, hopefully I'm not screwed for this weekend. I had a babysitter. I just, that made me think of this weekend, and I think I might be hosed for this weekend, dude. Oh, in any case, I got to figure out something with the kids on that Saturday morning. Oh, mamma mia, sopapilla. Oh, monarch. Damn it. All right, that's Napoleon. Napoleon, get some games in, Bows. Oh, it's so stressful, dude. All right, here's Louis F. 2 months for my first graduation and only one for the second. I'm not sure I'm that good. I just noticed that many opponents with my same rating do not appear to be taking the game seriously. Correct. I enjoy following the program and completing the required assignments. The books and exercises are well selected. I find that playing longer games and analyzing them are mutually self-reinforcing and are changing the way I approach the game. I have started to engage more with the Dojo Discord, which is full of committed, kind, and helpful people and is way more helpful than playing random opponents. Yes, sir. Okay. Okay. Look at that. Now that's 103, my friend. That's a lot of work that Louis F. has put in here. Already in my 50s. Near Madrid. Nice, dude. Okay. This is great. All right, let's take activity. And we're going to go to the cohort below. Uh-oh. Something's wrong. There we go. Dude did 89 hours with a great macro distribution there. Looking really good. Let's click around it. Endgame, some algorithms and such. Tactics, nice. Some Polgar mate and twos up to 425. Okay. What's a non-dojo? Tactics. Okay. So, let's go games. Here we go. Boom. All right, this is one of our dojo games, 60-30. Is there time stamps? Oh, now, my friends, I just want to point this out. This new time feature that Jack has developed, it should serve as an admonition. It should also serve this rule that we put out there. This is the first, let's say the admonition is twofold. One is you're not allowed to actually count this game if you don't use half your time. Is it fascist or whatever? Fine. The other admonition is just look at the graph, and if it looks like this, no bueno. No bueno. Okay, ends after 30 moves. We'll take a look. And so, in general, I'm going to guess that there were some big moments where they were flying. Okay, everybody's developing. Beautiful. 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 Now, I want to stress, I like the way Black has played this. Black has played it just nice, consistent, perk-style chess. And this move, I would generally say that's a mistake. I don't know if it's an end-of-the-world mistake, but I don't like it. Okay, 97. Bishop h6, mistake. Let me just explain this. We have now a King's Indian structure, and White is now willingly trading off their best piece for your worst piece. And they're doing it because they think they're going to mate you. As long as you don't get mated, this will prove to be incorrect. Now, this is incorrect for the same reason. That's your good bishop, Bows. That's your good bishop. Yeah. So, learning how to play this kind of position is its own art form. The first thing that comes to mind for me would be knight h5. Maybe there's other moves too. So snip snap. Oh, he trades. Thank you very much. Bishop e2. Oh, now it's complicated. And this is actually really a good variation because he says he's considering this. Okay, so let's just say bishop g7 was a really frisky and unnecessary move, and bishop f3 was like, we come and recapture. Bishop f8, bishop d1, bishop e7, queen e7, rook d1. Okay. And then bishop e2, bishop f6. Well, yes, sir, it's very dangerous. Bishop d1. And then the amazing thing here is really important to see is that on queen h6, we have knight f5. Okay, we're going to do a little time investigation. So when you play bishop e2, look at that. See what I'm saying? His time went up, my friends. Louis. Or if we're familiar enough, let me call you Louis. Louis, buddy. This is a key moment because bishop f6 might throttle your bottle. You know, it might truly throttle your bottle. I don't even know, but I know that I'm terrified of this. Yeah, I'm terrified. Because now, first of all, it's luck that queen h6, you're surviving with knight f5. But then you can't even go queen d7 because then queen h6, holy moly, Mr. Pacholi, there's some grief, okay? So this is an example of moving too fast. And let's look at the bishop g7, which also, on white's part, way too fast. No, this is complicated, my friends. Now, I want to stress, bishop f3 is a mistake positionally. But now we're getting this series of captures and recaptures, and white's like, screw it, I'll just take on g7. Come on, buddy. You can't play chess like that. And then again, how fast do they go queen h6? Instant. Instant. All right, let me just stress this enough, because it's very important for... Actually, Lewis made a great point, and he said, I find I'm playing against players who aren't taking the game seriously. And it's important to see that it's not like they're just disrespecting the game when they move so fast. Their minds are physically unable to slow down. Okay, this just happens when you're learning to play the game. You just get all anxious and you can't even imagine about thinking longer, and then your body's like, I can't take it. So, I want to stress that learning at the minimum just to sit on your hands for a second is huge. And I especially see in online games, it looks like time graph like this. It's not what we want, right? And you will improve your game just by slowing down. It's incredible. It's incredible how much. Okay, so here we go. Check to the miserable queen, good move. And now you play bishop d1. Seems like we could talk about king g7 as well. Check to the miserable king. There you go, buddy. Now, if we were ever going to play kind of sort of fast, here would be the moment. You know? Yeah. I like f5 here. Play c6. Kind of weird. I like taking. Oh, actually, well, taking would be a little complicated. You'd have to see cd, g5, d4. Good. Fine. 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 Beautiful. Thank you very much. I want you to take first. This was better. Okay, now it's getting a little spooky. Now, I want to stress, Louis. Dude, you're not spending enough time. Not spending enough time here. Okay? Yeah. Check to the miserable king. Someone's been doing their mates, dude. Someone's doing their mates. Actually, it was a real breakthrough moment in my own chess when I was like, oh yeah, in the end game, you can mate people. You can mate people. Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. Good. Lewis, buddy, I'm pumped on your quest, dude. And I just want to stress the easiest way for you to improve at this point is slowing down. It's slowing down. And the time graph, I feel, is just this beautiful new tool we have to really visually see it, right? Okay, that was Lewis. Now we got Mysterious Rook Move. Also graduated once before. Doing some good work. We're going to follow. Beautiful rating gain. Activity. Loads of games. So let me just check on how they got here. That's some good work for sure. Not inputting the times. You don't have to input your times if you don't want to. Tactics. There we go. You see, you go up the cohorts a little bit. People are doing these maiden twos. That's how you're going to find a move like Rook E2 in a game. Okay. So, beautiful. All right, I like it a lot. I'm going to look at a game for Mysterious Rook Move. Okay, so this is going to be a OTB game. Holy moly! I just rewatched Searching for Bobby Fischer, and they got a Schliemann in there. Good. I don't know if we're in any hurry to take on C3. That's definitely a mistake, developing our queen. Bishop D7, castles. And now you castles long is probably correct, but it is definitely gutsy. I agree with what you're saying. Now, let's say something obvious. If you were going to trade the queens, you should do it here with Queen F7. And I think psychologically what went down here is you saw this position and you're like, no, boss, I better trade some queens, man. I better trade some queens. Yeah, which is from a, let's call it practical point of view, not a dumb thing. In terms of analysis, one of the interesting questions, also when we castled long was, is there a way for white to really start going after us? If there is, it's not immediately obvious, but some kind of bishop a6, queen b3 thing might be something to worry about. Yeah. I think the move for us would be, let's say, consequent. That means just following on our initial way of playing with castling long, would be queen g5, tickling the knight, introducing bishop h3, introducing rook f6 thoughts. Okay, here we go. No trade for you. h5. So one thing I'll say about h5 is that, yes, you're missing the bishop a6 tactic, but more importantly, you don't have a plan, right? You don't have a plan here. And yeah, that's why, like, for example, queen g5 was really important. Okay, so maybe we're toast. You do this. Now, let's pause for a second to examine our feelings here. Now we might be gone, huh? Bishop a6, by the way, good move. And good move. 1500 USCF. There you go. They're going to find things like this. And I guess now we're just crushed and mushed. Crushed and mushed. Good move. Good move. Simple chess. Okay, it's important to see that was unnecessary. You see, you play queen c7 and your bishop's pinned. Dang. Take it easy, 1600 USCF. Take it easy. Dang. I was done in by the wrong rook. no, I want to take that back. I don't think it's a minor improvement as to which rook. Okay, minor improvement. Let me say, I think you play good chess. No need to take a pinned piece, ever. And now we get this interesting situation. And here it's like, if you play castles long, you have to understand that the tactics are going to be hot and heavy. And if you want to play Queen f7, now's the moment. Because really, when you talk about the rook on f8, we would like to castle short. And then we just give white the question. We say, bounce. Do you want the endgame, or do you want to let me castle short? And I like the endgame for you. You have better pawn structure. Your king's already in the center, you know. So this is frisky. And one of the rooks goes there. I don't think you want to be playing, I don't know about h5 anyway. I understand rook df8 may be a little bit better. You might want to use d8 for the knight, but that's like not completely obvious. This move, I don't even know. I don't even know if that's a good move. Queen g5, like I'm saying. And one of the interesting questions here is, are we doing that badly? Because, see, with his shattered pawns, it's not necessarily clear how they're going to bloody your nose, if I can use such a crude metaphor. Maybe knight b8, for example. Just keep that. That knight's a nice defensive piece. So there may be some analysis there would be nice. All right, mysterious rook move. You're doing it, though, buddy. You're doing it. That's good. We'll go to the rating chart. Look at that. Definitely doing it. Definitely doing it. Probably see mysterious rook move again here. Okay, everybody. Let's go back to the news feed. We view them all. And next up, Victoria's Secret. This is really cool with Victoria's Secret. Victoria's Secret, it's been doing this class that I've got where it's a 5-week class. We have 5 people. We do one, everybody's going to do one game. And it's been a really cool class. It's kind of like my dream of not just what a class could be, but of what I'm hoping a lot of the dojo could be. So, for example, simple class once a week, and they annotate a game. But what's really cool about it is they've been meeting on the side. They don't always, they're normal people that have busy lives. They don't always meet at prescribed time. Not everyone can meet, at some other time besides the class. But the fact is they're having these meetings outside of class, talking through the game in their own words before the class, and then we go through it in the class. Beautiful. And anyways, so really cool. And let's take a look. I think, by the way, yesterday, I posted a new class. It'll start in late February. And this first one was for players 1,000 to 15, and the next one will be 12 to 17. All right. Now, let's go back one. Really nice work. What are they doing, non-dojo? I never click on that. I'm like a jealous lover. I'm like, what? Who are you seeing on the side? Who is it? Let me know. Let me know who it was. I'll get him. I'll take you to Fist City. All right, let's look. We got some games here. Let's click. I want to do one where it's against somebody OTB. This looks like more of an OTB sounding name. I think we might have looked at this. Did we look at this in our class? No, I don't think so. I'm just going to go kind of fast. Okay, yeah. Okay, here we go. So, let me do a different one. This was game 30. I'll pick this one. It's also game 30. 30 plus 20 seconds. Okay. So here we go. Fine. Now, this breaks the rules, and I have a feeling like this is an example where opening courses or whatever are, they're making it really, really funkadelic. Obviously, the right moves here would be either c3 or knight f3. You're going to have to play c3 someday anyway. And now e5 is probably, I'm going to call it equality for black. This is a key mistake, though, to block in the bishop on c8. Good move. This is what we call a Carlsbad structure. Knight e5. Nah, I'm not. Please, Bows. Bring your pieces in first. Bring them in first. a6, loss of time. Bishop f4. Oh, I believe in that move. Queen b6, not developing. b4, weird. So the default move here for you should definitely be something like queen e2. You could consider queen c2 as well. I don't comprende that. Thank you. Okay, knight f3 also possible. I don't comprende that. Going big over there. Now, one thing I'll say, a4 is interesting. In general, we are going to want to murder the black king. That's one of the reasons I would rather have knight f3. You have everything set up to start an attack over there. Frisky. I don't know what you're doing, honestly, though. If I was going to do this, it would be a5 to solidify my knight going to b. So if I put the pawn here, then my knight can always be the bad boy on c5 whenever I decide to put it there. Now you're just losing your mind. There's no need for c4. You got your business over there, son. Attack over here. Over here. Check the miserable rook. I really don't want to exchange any pieces. Oh, I think black needed to take on c4. Now we're going to hit him with c5, right, Bows? Right? Yes. Now, DE maybe. DE is definitely a thought. You take with the rook. Okay. Good. You could consider taking with the knight. Rook h5 here is definitely talking to me. That's not going to help. Notice they just gave you this big old fat pawn. Okay. Okay. You're doing great. Oh. Now here's an interesting question. Is black's position now still so bad that you have compensation? e5 is a nice move, though. I didn't like that from black. He wants to open the position for his rooks. And now this chance to open the position has been lost. Knight d2, good move. f5. Now we need a plan. Nah, you walked into the jungle. Look at this dude, man. He doesn't care. He's like, I'm going to walk right in, son. I'm going to walk right in. Bam! All right, guys, we need some calculation here. We need some calculation. So, king g7. It's an interesting position. We definitely need more calculation. This doesn't help your situation. You talk a little bit about king d6. What I want you to see, too, is your knight and your bishop need improvement. So if it's true that black isn't threatening anything, I don't know, maybe they are. But see, the problem for dude is if he goes there, we take here. If he goes the other way, we go here, right? So maybe let's talk about this move. And it's some kind of knight rerouting is something we're interested in hitting, too. That's no good. Now we can't take on f5. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh. I guess we deserved it, Victoria's Secret, right? We deserved that one. Oh, man. Whew. Abdul says they don't play H3 because of a course. No, they do it because of a course, dude. They do it because of a course. And let's just talk. It's not a dumb idea to play H3. You can't allow bishop G4, my friends. You can't allow it. But I'll just say the traditional thing, which Fischer introduced, was this position, also trying to not have bishop G4 be such a thing, right? Okay. My friends, I'm going to take a quick pause, and I'll be right back. Chess Dojo training program was built around 3 principles. The first is that to improve at anything, you need a structure and a plan to follow, something you can trust. And so at the dojo, we have material, whether you're an absolute beginner or you're a grandmaster, we have the appropriate material to get you to the next level. The second principle is something that also can be used to learn anything, and that's called the principle of plus minus equal, that you need somebody above you, an equal, and somebody below you. And in terms of the dojo, what that means is above you, you will have the senseis and other higher rated players who will give you insight and critique maybe on your games. But at a deeper level, the program itself is the plus that you have to give some measure of authority to follow the program. Your equal is your cohort. These are the people with whom you are going to spar out positions, you're going to discuss books, you're going to play against, you're going to have postmortems. It's a very rich community. And then finally, and this is very important, you need a minus, and this is somebody to whom you can explain your ideas. And only when you can explain your ideas to somebody who doesn't get them yet, have you truly understood those ideas yourself. The third principle is very chess specific, and that is really a Soviet Botvinnik principle, and that you have to go over your games in order to progress. And so at the dojo, we have a games database, and you will be publishing your analysis into that database. Now, the act of publishing, when you're analyzing the game, will have the effect that you know that somebody else, maybe myself, will read your analysis, okay? And so you will try harder to be clearer about what you are thinking about, to be clear in your analysis. And that process of becoming clearer will help your thoughts get clearer too. And one of the great successes of the dojo is just throughout the years we've been doing this, we have a great collection of games annotated by. All right, we are back, and we'll go newsfeed, view all, and now we're up to knight A14. I don't know what it means. So we'll follow activity. Just maybe just new to the dojo. Maybe new to the dojo. Actually, wait, go back one. Yeah. Or maybe not putting all their business in. But they have, obviously, made great improvement. And they have one game here. So, looks like another 30 plus something game. 30 plus 20. That wasn't it. Okay. So, B4, B3. Queen C7. Holy moly. Now, this 94 is frisky, to put it mildly. White could play now d5 followed by rook e1, and they would definitely have some play. They would definitely have some nice zhuzh against your business. That wasn't it. Thank you. That wasn't it. No one knows. No one knows about G3. They have no. I don't have any idea. They don't have any idea. Knight E5, probably a good move. D6. We could consider H6 as well. Oh, we could do other things here too. But that's, I mean, it's pretty good looking, isn't it? A5. What if we were worried about our pawn? Check to the miserable knight. Okay. Now, black has a development problem. That is to say that soon his opponents are going to waste him when they get to the higher cohort because he's not developing his stuff. But this is a good way of getting to 1,000 here, the way he did. We can obviously also say that we could do some more annotations. I talk a lot about people learning openings too early. This is an example where obviously bishop c4 is a mistake, but in the next series of moves, black is not paying sufficient attention, to my mind, to his development. Actually add as well that an example of development would be this move where we are developing with a threat. Here we're threatening to win the pawn, right? Okay, so let's go back. Beautiful, NA14, congratulations. And now we have Hannes, who has graduated. And let's take a look. They might have just joined the dojo. We're going to see. No, they've done a lot of work. Okay. It's a little weird. Like they graduated this, but I don't know, something I didn't see there one before. Okay. We got some games. Well, let's take a look. No, we're getting it. Getting it done. Okay. So. Okay. Black played very fast in this game. How fast did they go? Holy chrome! Holy moly, my friend. Same with this graph, that black had more time at the end than at the beginning. So, I just want to stress, when you play online, you will play people like this. And they'll sometimes even yell at you. They'll be like, why are you moving so slow, buddy? And you'll be like, Bows, this is a 45-minute game with an increment. All right, so let's get into it. So far, so good. Everybody's doing great. Well, you could debate it. Developing your business, great. Developing your business. Fine. Fine. Here we can think about FE, developing your rook, but this is fine. I like FE better. Good. Let me just say, okay, that I am a big fan of the way White played this. And what I mean by that is we can argue about different moves that White could or could not have done, but I like the fact that White essentially defaulted to development. I mean, we didn't know exactly what was going on, but it was like Baus and default to development. Black is not defaulting to development. I'm playing this move instantly. Like, can you imagine saying to yourself, looking at it and being like, oh yeah, A6, that's the move, Baus. That's not the move, Baus. Knight D2, I like this move. Maybe we'll go to E4. No one understands that one. H3. Okay. H3 has its own uses. I think you should just play Knight E4. Weird. Now, G4 is controversial, my friend, because you've just weakened your king. No need for that. Ooh, now maybe you could do this. Actually, I take it back. You could do this. Boom. That's what we call an octopus, my friend. Beautiful. Beautiful. This will be a great example game, I'm guessing, for Black to just think about what domination looks like. And Black, for their part, needs to play F6 pronto. B3, I don't like it. Black has 0 counterplay on the queen side. Put your rook here, or here, I don't care. Bring the next one over. Good move, f6. They got to try. Okay. Okay. It's a little hot, but I like what you're doing. That's not it. I think you are in control. It is a hot position, though. Like maybe they should consider g5 or something. Okay. Check to the miserable king. Check. Mate. Oh, there it is. Sometimes chess can seem easy. I love it when dojo people take people out. Now, one thing I always want to say, we had a comment earlier from one of the graduates who said, I think it was Lewis, I'm not sure, I'll go back and check, that sometimes they feel like they're playing people who aren't taking chess seriously. Now, if you talk to a lot of these people, I think they would. They're spending a lot of their time doing it, so let's say it that way. But they're not able to think, and their graph looks like this often, their time graph. They just can't imagine sitting there thinking. And it's hard for them to do it, and they will not be taking chess seriously until they learn to slow down. There's a lot of people in the dojo who are actually doing a lot of work who have the same problem. So I really want to stress that that is a simple way for so many players to improve. I was a good comment about it in the Discord chat where somebody said, yeah, I just sat on my hands and I saw a better move. I just forced myself and I saw a better move. Okay, here we go. So, view all. So, next up, we got Blibup. Been crushing 15-10 pool on ChessCom. Hopefully, I won't be tanking back down. I have the best intentions to include longer time controls when possible. Don't judge me on the other activity. It's a shame Capablanca's endgames and endgame sensei playlists go into that bracket. It would be great if you could add a larger library for non-cohort content that is dojo approved nonetheless. Interesting. One thing actually would be interesting if somebody has any thoughts on this in the chat. It's a dream of Kostya's that I ratified. I said, Kostya, we can do this. Is for people who want to do, who are really intent on just doing their own thing, for them to be able to use the framework of the dojo to do their own thing. And we would still have the buckets of endgame game playing and yada yada, and we would also even have a score, but it would be a choose your own adventure thing that they would then be able to use. That's not quite addressing this point, but that's what made me think of that, which I think will happen in the coming time. Okay, here we go. AVDS got my first FIDE standard rating of 1209. And dude, I mean, that's great because I think then if this FIDE nonsense happens, you're going to explode from 1209. They're going to gift you all kinds of points to like 14 something. All right, AVDS, let's look. Oh, wait, we're on Blibup first, buddy. We're on Blibup. Okay, good. Crushing the 1510. Little Bunny Fufu in the 1510 category. Doing a lot of endgame work. Here's a non-dojo. Okay. Shame, shame, shame. Take you to Fifth City. All right, let's go take a look. It looks like they're all online games. This is the 1510. He's killing the people in the 1510. Good. This is what I recommend for black is the Caro line. Good move. And we should say on Bishop E2 to say why it's odd. And the reason it's odd is because the bishop will be a victim on the E file, and we'll have to get out of the way anyway for the rook. Good move, and good move. Very nice move. This move, I think, for players new to this opening will be a little bit weird. But it's important to see a couple things. One, that your knight on b8 had to be improved. You know, Carl players laugh at French players. They're like, oh, your bishop's stuck. But, dude, you put the pawn on c6 and your knight wanted to go there. So you have to fix it. Second point is the knight will be awesome as a potential attacking piece against the white king. It's not immediately obvious that black can get an attack here. But that's one of the glories of understanding your opening. I don't mean theory here. I just mean like, because white could do all kinds of moves, but right now we are thinking of actually starting an attack, and we'll see how well he does. So c5, boom. A little weird. Now you play bishop e6, which I have sympathy for. Okay. Queen c2. Bishop d5, okay. And this isn't it. King side is our side of the board. Rook e4. Personally, I would think strongly about just something to stop the knight from coming to f5. You can't really go there anyway. So g6 is a reasonable move. Queen d7 is a reasonable move. Weird. Bam! Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no! Okay, Blibba, let's just say, buddy, whether this works or not, I'm all for it, man. That's good chess. That's good chess right there, because, and usually at this level we don't see it. And what I mean it is, there's no way to calculate this, but you could trust that you can feel good about your chances in this position. It's very difficult for white to figure out how to fix his king. Love it. f4, queen h3. I think queen h3 can't be wrong. Bishop f3. Now, he's just hanging a piece, Bows. But what do you want him to do? I don't know. He's busted. Beautiful. I think he should be really proud of rook h4. That's a great move, man. Great move. Love it. I think you had to play knight f5. But this, just to say to yourself, yep, I am smoking this fool. That's what we want. Oh, yeah. And I think it's true. I don't know. All right, let's look a little bit. f3, good move. Here. Now, king h2 definitely doesn't seem forced to me. But I also don't know what white's supposed to do here. It's really hard for me to see. Maybe rook f2. We can play rook e8. Bishop d2. Now we're going to think about rook takes e2. Might think about it pretty good. But the nice thing is if we don't have rook takes e2, then our default move is going to be to bring the bad boy in. And I just don't know. I don't believe white can save this. So that was a great game, man. That was a dojo move right there. Welcome to the dojo. Dude, we're dealing with the 1200, and here we have tall, like, speculative sacrifices, my friends. Another interesting comment here from Cross Online. I realize I'm a minority because I have a traumatic brain injury and have to do things quite differently. I know the system does not quite reward me for doing it my way, but I understand you guys have a good system and don't need to please everyone. Okay. Yeah. And like I said, Kostya's into this thing, Cross Online, where we will basically, you know, is it Kostya trying to please everybody? A little bit, but also just like to be able to use so many of the other things in the dojo. The dojo is no longer simply a tool of the training program. There's all kinds of resources within the dojo. This game, beautiful game editor being one of them. Okay, great blib up. Let's go back and we'll click and we just keep going and going. Here's AVDS who got his first FIDE rating. Might be their first FIDE rating. We're going to follow him and we're going to look at how they did it. 42 hours of work, a lot of games and analysis. Let's look at the tactics. Polgar mates in 2, up to 402. Great. Okay, well, it's not that much, but a little bit. Now we're going to look at some games. All right. This looks like an actual game that was played somewhere in Holland. So, Tata Steel Chess Amateurs. Well, that's just totally cool, man. Yeah. I'm sure that was a cool experience, to go play, and then the big boys are there, and then you get to play kind of alongside them. Really nice. Am I playing the 2-day for Baltimore? Well, beloved bookkeeper, let me just say I got some bad news right now. I screwed it up, dude. I had this babysitter lined up, and I said the wrong day. I told her ages ago the 2nd, or the 3rd, rather. Or the 2nd. I told her the 2nd like an idiot, but it's the 3rd that I need her for that morning. So, beloved bookkeeper, listen up. If you don't go, then you have to babysit my kids for a couple hours on Saturday. That'll be your punishment for not going, beloved bookkeeper. That's what you deserve. All right, let's get into this beautiful game. C6, a little weird. Okay. So we got her out of book early. Okay. You're doing fine. A little weird, knight b3. A little weird. Now that's just a habitual move there. C3 makes no sense. Well, now you played d5, and yeah, definitely incorrect. The other question is, how do we feel about f5? Because f5 asks some very critical questions. There's only one move for white, as I can tell, and that's f3. But now there's just a lot of nice options for us. We have bishop h5. I don't like bishop h5. We have taking on f3. Let's reduce it to these two options. But the easy thing to say is we like our position here. We don't know how much we're winning or whatever, but we just like it. We just like it because of the Irish pawn structure there. Oh, it's so cool to call it an Irish pawn structure. I know. Okay. Okay, if you wanted to play e5, you could have done it right away too. Let's go home. All right, good move. e5. Ooh. e5, good. Okay. Let's play b6. Get that knight out of there. No need to take on d4. Oh. Oh, now b6. We probably wanted to play queen d6 to prevent precisely that. Bishop a6 might have caused us some griefies. Here he goes. So they had this option prior to. Boom. Good. Boom. 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 Right. So what we have to say is that knight c6, as scary as it was a mistake, right? And now we get a great example where you should be able to coordinate your pieces here. And it definitely should be easier because they are two bishops. they should be able to work together. Blunder. Oh, that's not it. So it fell apart rather quickly. It fell apart rather quickly, right? Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. Oh, it's easy chess. Time for some easy chess. Give it all to me. Okay, beautiful. That was a nice calculation. And, one of the things I say, in the under 1,000 cohorts is it's usually somebody hanging something outright. In this case, it's a case of somebody misappreciating the tactic, right, with knight c6. And so, first of all, higher level would recognize before knight c6 is played that it's not possible, right? And then the higher level also wouldn't play knight c6 in this position. But just that, I guess you might even be able to say in that sense, some coaches would call you lucky because you didn't understand that you were getting what you got, right? Still, great that you were able to see it through, and then your opponent collapsed. Okay, good. AVDS. That must have been a nice tournament there in Holland. Yeah. So, newsfeed. Beloved bookkeeper hasn't responded to my urgent request or my admonishment that if she doesn't play, she has to take care of my kids. All right, this is D. Creech. My rating skyrocketed about 100 points the first week and a half after joining the dojo, mainly from playing the 45-30. It was the first time ever playing such long games, and I really felt my mind being stretched to its limits and beyond. Beautiful. Okay, 12-14. So, D. Creech, though, Bob, was it really time to graduate? Or maybe they went up to 1509, which is probably good enough. Oh, and then after they hit that graduation button, it fell apart. I do a little bit of I conjugate weak verbs as strong verbs as weak verbs, like hitted, because that's what my kids do. They always say hitted. He hitted me. Okay, here's D. Creech. Okay. So D. Creech, I think, well, dude, I understand. You were you made it and then you didn't make it, right? It fell back down. So here we go. This is Rafe Watcher. Okay. Fine. Weak. No need to take. Play e6. Thank you. Should say here in this position, you're up a tempo. Night before, I don't know. I don't know if that's necessary. Because that's what's happening to you, right? Well, great notes. Probably night before was a shallow threat and not helpful to my position long term. Well said. Also don't like that one. What do I want you to do? I want you to play things like bishop e7. Also want you to castle bows. Well, it's a good attempt to rip you open because you haven't been developing. Queen takes is also interesting here for white. And here we should ask, was there some way for them to keep the bishop going? This is definitely a mistake. Just castle bows. Castle, castle, castle. Oh no. That one's hard for me to understand. Because queen e6, aren't you crispy critters there? I don't know. That looks like the crispies have met the critters. That's what I think there. Yeah. So huge mistake with rook a1. Winning a pawn, but it's a huge blunder. I'm glad my opponent missed it. Now, I think the times, the client times aren't set for this one. It'd be interesting to know. Now we're back in the game. Okay, I like that move. Knight d5 would definitely be interesting, but I think there's a problem. Queen d5 is not what we want because you're going to get whacked with rook cd1, rook fd1. He plays rook cd1. He needs to be playing rook fd1. So this is losing time. And so more natural moves would be like queen b5. Oh, helping you trade. Big mistake. You still have some communication issues. Now you get all pinned up. And that's a blunder. So, this is bishop c7 is a blunder because it allows black to break the bind. Whereas if it's just this position, white should be thinking about how do I pick up some of black's business while they're figuring their life out. So rook b8 or rook a8 look pretty good. This is blundering this move, good move. And now we're in a winning pawn endgame. Thank you very much. I like king b5, no reason to do this. Okay, good. It's simple chess. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. No actual need to play on, but they sometimes like to. Okay, so that's Rafe over Decreach. Decreach. And Decreach will make it back up to 1,300 here. That's what we're thinking anyways. So. Okay. So, my friends, let's make sure no one's yelling at me on Discord. Seems fine. Okay. Boop. And we go back to the news feed. We go to the graduations. And next up, we have behaviorist. First thing in my head was like, oh, B.F. Skinner. B.F. Skinner. Now, behaviorist looks like, dude, they're ready to go to the next level, too. I could wait for a little while before they convince that they're ready to go. Well, maybe new to the dojo a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. No games. Yeah. A lot of times people just are new to the dojo, haven't fooled around with too much. They hit that graduate button, and then it's hard for me to judge, you know. All right. But behaviorist is ready to graduate again, though. All right. Next up is Life Can Be So Nice, Beautiful, who is in the chat with us. All right, let's look. By now I have my daily schedule, Chessable morning and evening review, 10-minute lead chess puzzle, 4-minute coordinates, 30 minutes tactics, 30 minutes endings, 30 minutes strategies. Dang. For the Dojo Classical Tourney, which is games I participate in Dojo Classical Tourney, triathlon training got reduced for more chess. I guess I'm hooked. Basically, I don't care too much if I win or lose. The progress needs to be there. After 2 months, I can say that I made friends in the dojo, which was really nice, and I started doing sparring with them. Very cool. If you haven't done that yet, do it. In addition, I try to play at least once a week in the dojo team Lead Chess Bundesliga. It is blitz in different formats, and it perfectly satisfied my desire to get those blitzes in. Okay. Chess Dojo for the win. Very nice, dude. Very nice. That's great that we call it the Lead Chess Bundesliga. So I think Life Can Be So Nice is from Germany, I think. Let's see. Hi, Jesse. Please review my game against Coolmaster X. Nice. Very first OTB tournament coming up, end of May. Nice. And is Jan. Okay. Beautiful. Schachclub Nord, Norderstedt von 1975. schnorrestedt.de. Okay, beautiful. 1325, doing some... This doesn't look so nice, but he made it. I don't know what's going on with the graph. But yeah, life can be so nice. It's been pretty active in our Discord and stuff. So that's been really cool. Sweat work is tough, but it hurts more to lose. That could be one of our brandings. Okay, let's take a look. So to get here, 13.4. Correct, right. Did some good work. And I think it sounds like it's chessable stuff that he's doing in the morning. Look at that, man. That's a lot going on. And then not too many games. We'll see what's going on. Lots of endgame, a lot of tactics. 531 on the Polgar mates in 2. Yeah. That's, it's funny. We look for tactics, and whenever, like, people start doing the mates in 2, that's what I'll look for, to how far have they gotten with those bad boys. Okay, really cool. And we're going to look at the game with Coolmaster X. There it is. Fairly recent. Boom. Round 7 in the Classical Open. New record, 70 moves. New record, 3:52 game time. Let's go look at the clock. Oh, look at that. So you can see at the end they were playing on increment and got some time at the end. These time graphs, dude. Really cool. So, here's Quell Brun. Okay. So here we go. A little weird. Now that's a frisky move. Generally, the horrible, the horrible Scandinavian people like to play c6. But if you can play knight c6, it's not a bad thing. This probably doesn't help white. Good. And now ef6. Good. I like that too. It's actually got a little bit the same structure as a Karo Tartakower, but here it's a much advantageous version for black. Good. The right doesn't appreciate development. Weakening. Again, not appreciating development. Okay. So 97's a little weird, but black is trying to fix their knight, which makes sense. I think the default move here for black should be castles. One problem is I'm not really sure where the knight on c6 is going. Right, because white's going to play bishop g2. And okay, bishop e4, certainly a fine move. And that's the kind of, actually, I didn't even realize that was possible. That's the kind of thing that should happen to them when they don't develop their pieces, like white is doing here. So I want to stress, when you're up in time, you want to maximize that time by creating threats. So the point of bishop e4 is to deny white the ability to castle, which will help their time, because black got a castle. And g4 was, of course, very frisky from white, because I don't know if your king's going to make it, bows. Oh, very frisky. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Probably wise to want to trade queens. And now, it's because your knight isn't doing anything much, he's doing okay. And taking on b3 really was a loss of time because now the rook's touching a7. Okay. Now, white needs to think about improving their knight. So taking on d6 and then taking on f4 makes sense. They do it. Okay. Now we're a little worse. Now, usually we use the word n as a novelty, so it's hard for me to imagine there's at least high-level games that went this far. But all right. hg. Right. Good notes. King b8 in general is not what we want. What do we want? We want you to fix your knight. So maybe c6 and knight d5 or something like that. Maybe f5 for... you got to do something, though. Rook h4. So what I want you to see is you're bouncing all around with your knight, but it's not clear it's actually getting improved. Still no plan, was just reacting to enemy threats. So this is where you need to take a moment after the game in your analysis and, try to find a plan. So for my money, it's not my money, for my sensibility, c6 followed by king c7 would be a good way to improve your position. I don't understand rook h7. Nota bene, your king is not working on b8. I don't understand bishop f1. Good, okay. Now g6 is a cool looking move, but there's no threat against your pawn. I don't know, maybe rook e6 there's some. Also, in this position, rook d2 first seems a little bit more prudent. The knight's holding on the f5 pawn, and after rook d2, they have to worry a little bit about knight e4 stuff. Now, white's in some time pressure. As a general rule of thumb, white should understand that unless you're getting something amazing, you never want to offer the pawn endgame, right? In principle. Here also, it doesn't seem to actually do anything. If I were analyzing this myself, maybe the interesting question would be to try to work out king f4, here, 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 and to ask ourselves what's happening here. It's not immediately clear. White needs to be active. This is not active. In principle, I think rook c4 looks nice. Let's just mention that this is interesting questions. But it's not that interesting because white can get back in time, and then we're host. Okay, so that's an important variation. So, good move. And you're saying that you want to take rook b4. Now, why rook b4? We should write it out. It's because you want to pass pawn. And now, again, the pawn endgames are very forcing. And so you got to be really clear on, is this something we really want? Is it winning? So from white's point of view, well, I got a lot of questions about rook g4. Pop, pop, pop. Interesting. Here. Okay, so now I have a feeling some kind of drawish thing happened. You had the opportunity to... Oh, no, you didn't, sorry. This kind of, we get a little wandering. Oh, he lets you do that. He lets you do that again going into the end game. Oh, no. Good move. Thank you very much. Good move. Good move. Oh, look at that. These Fishellinis don't know how to play the end game, my friend. Yes. There we go. And I practiced pawn end games with Quadxy. Quadxy is also in the chat the night before, so this came in handy. Good. Now, I want to say a couple things. This is good. This is a great game. And Quelbrun, I really think it's cool you chose this one to look at because I can tell you did some work. And one of the things I want you to pay attention to is this decision here. I get it. We're in time pressure and stuff. So, what am I saying? Rook d2, f4, b6. It would be good to analyze this bad boy out. You still have good chances, right? Is it complicated? Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. Okay, but that was great, man. And I really love the fact that you have definitely a skill here that you were able to apply. And that pawn endgame skill, the one where we have the algorithm of a pawn and a king versus a king, that one is something you need to do in your sleep. In your sleep. Does the Dojo Game Reviewer also export as a PGN? Yes. Yeah. So, beautiful, beautiful. A nice time graph too. There, we got somebody using their time, Mouse. Somebody using their time. This is great. So, life can be so nice. Let's go back and take a look. Oh, you're doing great, man. You're doing great. And look at the activity again. Putting the work in. You know, I like to see it. It's for us older dudes, man. We got to put a little bit more work in to get the bounce. And maybe you can put up your David said here, the German one. The German rating system at some point. Okay, cool. Let's go back. News feed. Uh-oh. I might have a... There we go. View all. Next up, we have Adrian. 163. It's a great picture. I have a feeling they just They just came to the dojo. It's my guess. Right? They just came to the dojo. Just started. Fine. Let's go back. And next up, we have Katur. Looking to improve in my spare time. Cool. 1526. We got, looks like maybe also just started. No games. It's fine. A lot of people, you know, they get to the dojo, change the cohort, and then that's a graduation. So some graduations, I shouldn't say this, but some graduations are bigger than others. You know. Some girls are bigger than others. No one's going to know the reference. Okay. Chirpy, 808. I appreciated the heavy importance on game analysis. I played in a few tournaments and spent hours combing through my games to figure out where I went right or wrong in my thought processes. Reviewing them also with my opponent and with a higher rated player also helped, especially with getting new ideas and learning to play with a logical plan in mind. Had issues importing my games into the database. Did my analysis on ChessBase and tried to import it to Lichess, but kept getting an error. Hopefully another ChessBase user could help me with this. Oh, dude, let me just tell you, man, I had the hardest time. So I've used ChessBase forever. And the problem I had was after I input it here, when you transfer it to ChessBase, it doesn't take the annotations with. Oh, and I wrote them. I got this support ticket. But over there in Germany, life can be so nice. They have European work schedules, and dude, they just might never get back to you. Like those people and the Chessable people, you write them an email, you might never, might never get heard from again, buddy. So, yeah, ChessBase, dude, they've lost it. I think I want to do a Dojo Talks. I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna write it down. A Dojo Talks where we talk about chess companies that died, and why. And primary on those lists, so maybe my boys will come up with other ones, would be ICC. That was the first internet chess club. I think it still exists in some shell form. And then ChessBase. Used to be last millennium, dude. They haven't changed their business at all. But last millennium, that thing came out. I was like, oh, this is great. But it is no longer fitting the times, my friends. So, Chirpy. Beautiful. Activity. Wow, that's a lot of blue. Let's click on this blue. Reassess your chess. Great. I'll use, if you have a game, we don't. At some point, I'll use a position to talk about reassess your chess and why I think, especially at this level, 1400 to 1900. It's good for anybody, but this level is good for reassess your chess. I did a review of the book online. So Chirpy, we need some games, bows. I have a feeling you just joined us. That's okay. That's okay. All right. That's kind of weird, actually. Wait a second. There we go. There's a little bit more. Yeah. So 24 hours. I mean, you make the next level in 24 hours. You're crushing it. Okay, 103 points gained. Boom. Newsfeed. We're slowly coming to the end of this monster graduation session today. Next up, we have Chess Counselor. I'm a counselor who utilizes the game of chess to foster change. I seek to create educational and fun experience in addition to teaching students to become stronger chess players. I help them to develop their critical thinking and social emotional learning skills to tackle life's big challenges. Okay, cool. Just made it to 1600. Great. It's definitely an accomplishment. And we'll go back one. Oh, Chess Counselor bows. We need some more. We do have a game against Bicky Bicky. So here we go. Okay. Fine. Now, this position is famous. It can arise out of totally different move orders, like the E3 Nimzo Indian, for example. Yep. So, fine. Good. CD5, I think, is the more normalish move, but okay. Now H6 seems maybe. I'm going to say maybe. Kind of an awkward placement. Okay. Bishop C3, I like it. Queen D8. So, what do we see? Black doesn't understand time. Okay? And you've heard me say it before. This level, or whatever you want to call it, is where people are strong, we're at 1600, 1700, but don't appreciate time yet. Your opponents don't appreciate it. C5. I don't like C5 because your advantage is time, but your position is pretty great on C5, so I can't criticize it too much. Well, that's hard to argue with. Is that really? Yeah, we definitely don't want to let him trade off the bad knight. So, right, Bishop C7 looks amazing. FG, without comment. Well, FG, holy moly. I feel our advantage has largely dissipated, my friends. Yeah. So in this, I think you're absolutely right. You missed an opportunity, but notice what happens now is your position is sliding into darkness, and you should say something about it. Thank you very much. Bishop d7 makes sense. Bishop c6. We might be in trouble here. Wait a second. We play queen takes c7. That was weird. There's no need to play knight e4, okay? Okay, we're at least going to make him think a little bit here. Might as well. Dang. Oh, getting crushed. Getting crushed, chess counselor. Okay, so let's say that let me put it this way. You will face many people who give you time, and you learning how to take advantage of that time is going to be critical to developing, right? Because you're going to get it again and again. Knight d7, a little controversial. I don't even understand why, and then we realize, oh, he wants to move the queen. Now, here, c5, bishop g3 and c5 was a fine move. You could also play cd with knight b5 stuff as well, but your move's fine. Rook e8, what is it doing? Losing time is what it's doing, right? Good move, punishing. And now, important to really see from a positional standpoint, forget the tactics for a second, that the knight on h5 is misplaced, right? So we would like to not trade the knight. And a lot of the tactical opportunities that are now going to come your way with bishop c7 have to do with the fact that the knight over there is horrendous, right? Okay. Yeah, but then it really fell apart here. Like, they got the trade, and we took that way, which is a little weird. And then we went in, and we encouraged them to, like, mess with us. And then all of a sudden, they're somehow maybe even better in this position. Okay, so let's go to the next person. That's chess counselor. I like chess counselor's self-description. That was cool. And next up we have Tomas. Tomas is a FIDE 1578. So I just graduated. Maybe not an official graduation. Normalized, this is 1727 though, so I understand. Activity. We'll go back one. We might not see any games here. Yeah. So Tomas, buddy, bring it in. All right. News feed. I think we have one or two more. We have Mark Decker. Also looks like maybe just a new person maybe graduating. Yeah. So probably no games. Yeah, somebody new. A lot of people come in there and they're like, I'm going to graduate. That's fine. But you know, in terms of the spirit of the show, that's not what we're talking about. AJP, what's going on here, buddy? You are in the wrong cohort. 1630. USCF. Actually, well, let's give them a break. So ChessCom and FIDE, they got all over the place. But USCF, they haven't quite made it. But we're just going to say, Baus, that's a lot of graduation symbols. That's a lot of graduation symbols, boss. The chess wizard. Yeah, we don't know what's going on here. No games. Yeah. Okay, it's a little hard to say what's going on with AJP. All right. My friends, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. I felt like even though there was quite a few graduations, that this was, I didn't feel rushed. You know, I feel like go through each person's games. Maybe it's a little quicker than I had anticipated because we had a number of people like AJP, like, you know, I don't know exactly what's going on. All right, my friends, that's it for the show. If you miss part of this show, we always put this on our Chess Dojo Live YouTube channel. You know, and you can watch it on the so-called video on demand, VOD, on the site here. All right, got to rate somebody.